Bessemer Trust was never appointed co-conservatee? Well, let's break it down. Thanks for joining me. My name is Christopher Melcher. I'm a California attorney, and my passion is about making legal issues simple and telling the story behind the story. And today I want to talk about Bessemer Trust. We were told, as widely reported in the media, that Bessemer Trust was there as co-conservator of the estate, meaning in charge of finances alongside Jamie for a long time and serving in a protective role, we thought. But now we're being told that wasn't true. And let me back up and see how this started. Back in August of 2020, Britney's court-appointed attorney, Sam Ingham, made an application to appoint Bessemer Trust as a corporate fiduciary, meaning somebody who actually knows what they're doing and is trustworthy, as opposed to Jamie. And I know that Sam Ingham gets a lot of criticism about the job that he did, including from myself, but in this particular instance, he shined. He went in and attacked Jamie and tried to have him removed. And Jamie opposed that vigorously. And Sam Ingham asked that law firm of Loeb & Loeb, a very well-respected firm, be brought in to assist him in the effort of fighting against Jamie. And there's court papers that he filed, Mr. Ingham, on October 6th, explaining that he was being fought so harshly here by Jamie on this request, and he needed backup and wanted counsel brought in. And in this document that I'll bring up, that was filed on October 6th by Mr. Ingham, he goes through the history. And he really calls Jamie out in this thing. And he's saying that Jamie is filibustering, he's delaying, and that Britney wants to bring in a well-qualified, full-service financial advisor to work with her future financial needs if she wants to perform again, rather than being subject to Jamie just doing this over her objection. And he talks about how much resistance he's receiving from Jamie in getting Bessemer appointed, and that he's trying to force, or was previously trying to force, Andrew Wallet as the candidate, in which he eventually withdrew, and that he's charging, meaning Jamie, Britney's estate for all of this work to object to who she wants. And so in that instance, I do think that Sam Ingham was fighting for her. And this went on, and the court heard evidence about it. And then eventually on November 10th, the court appointed Bessemer. And so here's the minute order that goes through all of the fighting that they were doing and eventually says, hey, I am appointing Bessemer. I'm granting the application that was filed August 31. And the court then ordered counsel to prepare a formal order. And that's typical. So when a court makes an order on the record, it'll say to counsel, hey, go write this up officially, work together on the language, and let me know if you have a problem. So Sam Ingham went and did that, but again, met resistance by Jamie and his attorney, saying that, oh no, this is not, wasn't granted properly, or I don't know what you're talking about, or Bessemer is going to work underneath Jamie, not alongside. And there was fighting about it and multiple hearings and objections about it. And eventually the court on February 11th overruled many of those objections and said that Bessemer Trust would serve alongside with, meaning equal to, Jamie. That's what we were all told. And then Sam Ingham prepared another proposed order, based on what the court asked him to do. And Jamie and her counsel refused to sign that. And this is where the story gets really weird. There was no follow through on it that I can see in the court record. Sam Ingham doesn't go back to the court to say, hey, we're not getting cooperation here. You made an order, Judge. I wrote it up like you asked me to, and Jamie and his attorney won't sign it, so I want you to go ahead and issue this order because we really don't need their approval. You've already granted it. Can't see any record of him doing that, which is just totally bizarre, because why fight so hard to bring in this protector, this entity that actually knows what it's doing and is honest, and get the relief granted, but then not go to the finish line, that last foot, and finish it off. It's also bizarre that the court never had followed up on it like it was supposed to do. It appointed Bessemer. And you can, if you look through the court file like I have, you can see there's all kinds of hearings and papers that are filed after Bessemer was appointed. But then Bessemer never shows up in any of these proceedings. And why isn't the court saying, hey, where is Bessemer? I appointed Bessemer. I need an accounting, meaning Bessemer needs to come in alongside Jamie and present financial records and summaries to say, here is what's happened. Why didn't the court do that? It didn't. And that's just an absolute, complete failure by the court, one of many. Now, the reason why we know all this stuff is because after Britney spoke on June 23 and said, I don't want this conservatorship, it's abusive, Bessemer runs away and says, we resign, and there's a hearing set for July 14th on that, and the court grants the resignation. Unfortunately, did not remove Jamie also. And that's a second time and a second opportunity that the court had to get rid of Jamie. The court could have done that on Ingham's application back in August to say, take Jamie out, put Bessemer in. No, it made Jamie co-conservator. When Bessemer resigned and was relieved on July 14th, that meant that Jamie was now the sole conservator of the estate. The court should have removed him immediately on the spot and put somebody qualified in that role, but didn't. And now what's remarkable is that we see the proposed order by Bessemer. So Bessemer files a proposed order after it's been relieved, which is commonplace, to say, hey, well, let's make this official. So here's the document. And this was lodged with the court on July 16th. It's a proposed order approving the resignation. And we can go down and see on page 2 what Bessemer is asking the court to find. So this isn't actually a court finding yet. It's a proposed finding of fact. Number 1, that no letters have been issued to Bessemer, meaning that official order that they were fighting over that Jamie refused to sign was never issued. Well, that's true. Number 2, no actions have been taken by Bessemer. Well, we don't know whether that's true or not. We don't see any evidence that any actions were taken, but that's what they're saying, and that's what they want the court to find. 3, no assets of Britney's estate have been received by Bessemer, and no fees have been taken by Bessemer in that role. Now, all of those things may be true, but it's shocking if they are. Why did the court allow this to happen? Why wasn't Bessemer itself coming in? Because again, widely reported that they are a co-conservator, meaning they have a fiduciary duty to Britney and her estate. There's court papers that say it's been appointed, albeit we don't have the official letters or order signed off by the judge. But again, we got the court files saying it happened. Why isn't Bessemer showing up in all those months and saying, hey, do we have any responsibility? Or are we just going to wait indefinitely for some piece of paper to show up in the mail and then start acting? That sounds irresponsible to me. And the other thing that's weird about it is if they're saying that they were never put into place, how do they resign? You can only resign if you've been appointed. So many things about this case don't make sense. I am hoping the court does not sign this order. Don't fall for it, Judge, like you have many times over in this case. Stand up, investigate, ask critical questions. Don't allow this to continue. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten on Twitter. Here's my handle. It's CA_divorce. If you think I got something wrong or missed it, please DM me, put it in a tweet, let me know because I want to get it right. Obviously, everything I'm saying here is not legal advice and is my own personal opinion and not a reflection of my firm's. And I will see you next time.